A tremendous amount of time in my adult life studying with ancient indigenous traditions throughout the world, and I've had the opportunity, to be with some of the most amazing, beautiful, mystical, magical, studying with people in some of the most pristine places remaining in the world today. And as different as they are from one another, the Andes, mountains of Bolivia and Peru, the mountains of Egypt, the Himalayas, all through the American desert Southwest and the States, the Aboriginals, they're all very different in their cultures, but there's a through line that brings them all together and makes their wisdom very relevant in our lives today. And that through line is simply this. Our ancestors did not separate themselves from the world around them. They didn't separate what we would call science from art, from spirituality, from everyday living. To them, there was no separation, and so the way they lived their lives directly reflected what was happening in the world, and what was happening in the world they incorporated into the way they lived their lives. We have made this separation. We've compartmentalized our lives and our world. We think that we're separate from our own bodies. The medical model essentially has been based on us feeling separate and powerless over our own bodies. We feel we're separate from the world around us and that things that just happen. And this is where I think this bridge brings us back to the topic, science and spirituality. The spirituality of our ancestors, it wasn't about religion with the rules and the dogma. It was about their relationship to themselves, to one another, to their communities, to the earth, and to whatever they felt that greater power is. And quantum physics is telling us that is precisely the relationship that we have today. So in a very real sense, we're coming full circle.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because indeed it was the quantum physics revolution that hasn't hit the medical world yet, or the biological world. 15 years after the whole theory was evolved in about 1925, they actually used that brand new theory of the universe to create the atomic bomb. So the physics got incorporated into that kind of stuff, but it never really came down to what is the relevance of quantum physics to the world that we live in. And here's the significance, and it is this, that our conventional world of biology and medicine is based on a Newtonian physics model of the universe, which is a model that everything is mechanical and physical, and that the invisible realm is not really relevant to the expression of the physical realm. So in a science based on Newtonian physics, we focus only on the physical things, the bodies, the organs, the cells, the molecules, and we look at life trying to understand it from the interaction of just physical things hitting each other. And what quantum physics said is, well, wait a minute, that thing that you call physical is not even really physical, because when you look inside the atom, well, yeah, there are electrons, protons, and neutrons, but then when you look inside of those little guys,
it's all space.
It's all space. It's all little nano tornadoes of force. Well, the relevance, it says atoms are made out of energy. And that if atoms make us, then of course we are energy beings as well. Well, that's nice in regard to our physical expression of that energy, but what it also says is that we're connected to the energy all around us, which physicists call the field. And it's interesting because if you ask a physicist, well, what is the field? The physicist will most likely say, oh, the field represents invisible moving forces that influence and shape the physical world. And I go, wow, that's how cool that is because the definition of spirit is invisible moving forces that influence and shape the physical world. So what spiritual people knew there was a force emanating from the invisible, and it was influential. There was no science behind it, they just observed it, okay? Now we come to quantum physics, and quantum physics takes apart this world and says that energy that's called the matrix, the field in which we live, is indeed shaping our physical world. Sure. So they're both talking about invisible forces and who we are. And it's like you say tomato, I say tomato, you say spiritual, I say field. It's all the same.
It's all the same. It is, and I think this is us coming full circle. It's interesting to me because the very science that has separated us from our world in the past is now giving us the reasons to reintegrate everything that we cherish and that we hold true about ourselves and one another and our families and our communities. I was working at Phillips Petroleum. I was a geologist in Phillips Petroleum back in the 1970s. A long time ago, during the first energy crisis of the 1970s.
I'm so old, I'm faint.
So one of the things, well, I was doing that by day, and by night I was studying some of our most ancient and cherished spiritual traditions in the texts that have been left behind. And we'd had study groups at work, and people would talk about these. And what I found was there was an entire group of men and women that felt excluded from the conversation because they didn't relate to the language. So if we talk about spirituality in the traditional terms of angels and demons and sin, and right and wrong, good and bad, they felt completely excluded. And it wasn't they weren't interested in the topic; they just didn't relate to that language. So my very first book that I self-published, it was called Awakening the Zero Point, and it was a way for me to bridge those spiritual traditions with the best science of our time. And all of a sudden, everyone was interested because they could relate to the language. So instead of talking about these mysterious forces, we would talk about electrical magnetic forces in the cell, and I could show them that a human cell looks like the schematic blueprint, an electrical schematic blueprint with capacitors and resistors and transistors, and they'd say, my God, we're electrical beings, and magnetic beings.
Exactly.
And they were really genuinely excited. And they began to realize that it was the language that was separating them, and that they were actually very spiritual men and women working from a very different perspective of language. And I think this is important because I sense that one of the greatest challenges we all face today, the best minds of our time are telling us we're living a time of extremes. Not necessarily bad things or even good things, but big things. And to the degree that we allow ourselves to be separated by what are perceived as our differences, it's very, very difficult for us to work together and cooperate to manage the tremendous changes in our lives that are happening on a global basis and in our everyday and our personal lives every day. And this divide between science and spirituality, I think, has been one of the greatest. And if we can share the deepest truths of our existence in a language that's truthful, honest, factual, meaningful, and kind, I think it's important to honor all of those traditions, including science. Then we begin to break down the walls that have separated us, and then we can really work together to meet the needs that all of us are feeling in our changing world today. What do you think, Bruce? Is that true?
So did you get the gist of what is being said, that there's actually the science and the spirituality are not two different things. Actually, each one of us are spiritual beings. Inside the atom, there is actually spaces. There's so much of frequency and so much of action which is happening. That means what you are seeing in the mirror is actually a spiritual being. It is just that we don't realize it, we don't acknowledge it, and more importantly, because we are seeing it everywhere, we just don't seem to get the reality of it. Everything is spiritual, and spirituality and science are not two different things. So if you are clear about that, that means you are a spiritual being, right? And when you are a spiritual being, you are more powerful than you think. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? Give me a thumbs up, right? You are more powerful than you think, but because of the forgetfulness, because of our ability not to connect, not to relate, we forget our power and we live a small life. So all that you need to do is actually connect with the like-minded energies, right? Go out of your comfort zone and take those necessary steps which are required for you to be taken in the fulfillment of your vision and your dreams and your plans, right? Because if you have a plan, there is a reason why you have it. If you have a vision, if you have an objective, there's a reason why you have it, right? It's the part of the fulfillment of the large canvas. So my invitation is, now just open up your notebooks and start writing down how many things that are pending right now that you are not playing full out, like you are playing small, right? So start taking actions on those. We need to take actions on those. So what are those 3 or 4 things which are so important to you in your life, right? Where you are playing small. So just quickly write them down and start connecting up with the right energies, with the right souls, right? So very quickly open up your notebooks and write down what are the 3, 4 big things that are required to be done at your end. because you are really powerful. It is not like think big, think of things which are inspiring and scary at the same time. Yes. So now that you have those two or three things in front of you, very quickly, can you see that this is the reason why you are here on the planet? So would you like to read that, Tushar, Rajiv, one after another?
Yeah, I've got three, 4 points in front of me. So one of the most important point I've got is I have to connect with people which I'm not doing in the proper way.
Correct.
Also, second point I've seen is that I have to identify my strengths. Like each one has strengths and weaknesses. I'm also no exception. So I have some strengths which I have to identify. Then
Very important.
third important thing is I have to start thinking big, which also I'm not doing. The last but not the least is a certain timeline for achieving all these things which I mentioned above.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me give you the good news. The world is waiting out for you. You just need to take that step forward, Rajiv.
Yeah.
Right? The world is waiting out for you to make that impact, to contribute to their lives, to solve their problems, to enable them achieve their dreams. And when you do that, automatically what will happen is this world will become a better place, right? Because if you don't take action, you are playing small, the world will remain the same for a little longer time, right? Somebody will show up because nature has a plan. Like if you don't take action, somebody else will take action, right? So my invitation is take those actions, connect with at least 5, 10 more people today, not tomorrow, not day after, who you have not probably reached out to, right? Is that something workable? Will it help you in your life? Right? Perfect. Thank you. Yes, Tushar, let's hear from you.
Before also we wind up, I would like to sing some 3, 4 lines of a song which are forcibly, crossing my mind, and
Sure,
I
go
really
ahead.
want to, but not immediately. Let's finish up the whole
Let us
session.
complete with
Uh,
Tushar and then we will
yeah,
sing for a
yeah,
song.
yeah,
Go for a
yeah,
song.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Tushar, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, today's session was really interesting. You invited the new guest, and science and spirituality are both are the same things. So that I really, you know,
Great. Your voice is getting cut, Tushar. Am I audible?
yes, sir. Yeah,
Hmm.
you are
I
good
think
to
it's
me.
a
Am I audible to you?
network issue. Yeah, there is a network issue, it seems, right?
Oh, sorry. Okay, okay, okay.
So what is that you have written in your notebook? What is the inspiring and the scary vision or the actions that you have put that down? Very quickly.
Uh, yes, sir. So as you said, like go beyond your comfort zone. So I have like some many things are in my mind, and I have written कि ये बिजनेस में करना है हमें. So Yes.
So can I invite you to जो भी है आपके mind में, put that on the paper and
Yes,
take
sir. Yes.
the first step forward. You will be surprised because the Lord is always there to support you. The supreme energy, the supreme power is already there to support you. It is just the first step that you have to take, and the rest will be figured out. Okay? So just take the first step.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That
Definitely.
first step is the most important part to creating your destiny. And that is what we say, uh, you know, failing to plan is planning to fail. So start to plan and plan to succeed. As simple as that, right? Because if
Yes, sir.
you
Yes,
don't
sir.
have a plan, somebody else will have a plan for you. So make sure that you create a plan of yourself and then move the needle forward of your life and your business, because the 5 crores that you want to accomplish is okay. There can be multiple zeros that can be attached to it in the coming time. So get ready to make those things happen, and for that, connect, right? So write down the names of 5 people that you will be connecting up with. Write down, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then Rajiv, we are ready for your song. So go ahead.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
song's name is Across the Universe, and it's very well connected with our discussion, not only today but every day. And it goes like this: words are flying out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing and caressing me. Jai Guru Deva. Om. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Images of broken light which shines before me like a million eyes. They call me on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jai Guru Deva. Thank you.
Wonderful. You have a wonderful voice, Rajiv.
Thank
God
you.
bless. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day ahead. And one thing, keep singing, man. You have a good voice. Lord has blessed
Actually,
you with that.
something more about this song. It was sung by somebody who died in 1980, and he died when he was just 40 years old. And he had come to Rishikesh at the invitation of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and he stayed in Rishikesh for 6 months.
6 months,
Yeah,
yeah.
and while he was staying here, he wrote some 40, 50 songs. This is one of the songs, and he's a
Hmm.
Britisher, John Lennon.
John Lennon, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Beatles.
yeah, Beatles. So
Hmm.
this song always haunts me because it's got such pure feelings, which normally all of us go through, but this guy could pen it on a piece of paper. And
Correct, correct. So next
yeah,
time you are planning to go to Rishikesh, make sure
yeah.
that you visit the Beatles ashram. It
Actually,
is,
that
it
is the
is,
only purpose of my plan to go to Rishikesh, because
uh,
now the government of India is also promoting Rishikesh as a big
yeah.
international tourist center. So let's see how well they do it. Uh, the one tourist center already they have is Beatles, Liverpool, the birthplace of the Beatles. And the
Hmm.
second one, they say after Liverpool, they are going to make it Rishikesh, because
Yeah,
India is lucky to have them in 1960s. For six
correct.
months, well, the Beatles came and stayed there for 6 months is something, beyond
Unimaginable. Yeah, they were they
unbelievable.
were they were ruling the world
Nobody
actually.
gives 6 months of their life to a place like India, which was very underdeveloped that time. And today,
Hmm.
India is much bigger than what it was in the
So when you
60s.
go to the ashram, you will realize the Beatles ashram, the Mahesh Yogi ashram, you will realize that it is really created like 50, 60 years ago. They created some amazing stuff, how to meditate and where the structures for meditation. It is simply amazing.
Yeah,
So whenever you have that opportunity, be there. But till
yeah.
that time, you can actually meditate at home. So remember, we talked about the alpha and the theta frequency.
Trance
So
meditation actually. They came for trance
yeah,
meditation.
transcendental meditation.
So one day
And
you must give us a session on trance meditation, Neeraj, because we don't know what's trance meditation.
so we can have it on a Sunday because Dr. Cynthia and Dr. Elric are the ones who are experts in that, and they stay in Hawaii. I think you attended one of the sessions with them, right?
Yeah.
So we can schedule one of the sessions on a Sunday. Perfect. We can have them, and they can be leading us into TM practices.
Because one day when you gave me a chance to attend this session, I think 2 weeks back,
Yeah,
it was a magical session for me actually. I cannot
it is
explain you.
amazing.
Yeah,
It is amazing.
yeah. Though I don't know much. Yeah, I don't know nothing about trance
No,
meditation.
transcendental
Just
meditation is amazing. So we can step by step, we can move forward. So just
yeah.
sit for 10 minutes in meditation during the day, especially the start and the end, and then your day is made, your life is made, your
Also, I want to tell
experience.
Tushar something. Tushar, you're there?
Tushar, I think he's just left. I think the internet का कुछ issue था.
Okay, by default he is gone, so no
हाँ,
problem. Neeraj, I wanted to tell you, okay, even if Tushar goes, we will have a 2 minute session with you, me and you, because it's nothing confidential, but uh, I, I connect better when I'm one on one.
yeah.
So